So this young man returned from Italy after 13 years of not visiting Nigeria, only for him to be beaten to death for trying to save a little boy from his employer. Now, this is what happened. So Lawrence was said to have been based in Italy for the past 13 years, while his family based in Agbo, Delta State. This man, being away for the past 13 years, decided to finally, visit his country, visit Nigeria, to spend little time with his family and return back to Italy. Him and his brother Williams came to Nigeria ending of January 2026. Barely a week after they visited Nigeria, they decided to take a stroll. They went to a community in Agbo called Uwalero. Meanwhile, they are from Idumesa. They decided to visit Uwalero while taking their stroll, visiting old places they've been to before, places they've not seen for a very long time. They decided to stop by a restaurant, a roadside restaurant, and eat. While eating at the restaurant, this is a restaurant more like in a market. This is a restaurant more like in a space where they have other shops like mechanic shops. They sell spare parts, they sell different things. While they were eating, they started hearing this strange sound, more like an employer beating his employee. But they did not bother going there to play hero. They decided to chill, eat their food. Not until a little boy ran into the restaurant where Williams and Lawrence were eating and started pleading with his employer, because his employer followed him there. He started pleading with the employer not to beat him, that he's sorry. When Lawrence and Williams looked up, they saw an advanced man, a matured man believed to be the employer, holding a broken bottle, in an attempt to stab this little boy. No one knows what the little boy did. So Lawrence stood up and started pleading with this employer, more like, bros, it's okay now, just leave him, don't harm him, it's okay, it's just a little boy. Trying to talk this employer out. The employer was still angry. In an attempt to stab this little boy, he ended up stabbing Lawrence in his hands. Williams, on seeing that his brother was stabbed, stood up, started arguing with the employer. In the process of argument, they started hitting each other. That was how the crowd outside heard what was going on. They rushed into the scene. When they saw what was going on, Lawrence and Williams tried explaining, but it seems the employer told them something in their language, because this is somebody they know. They know the employer very well, so they didn't want to hear whatever Lawrence and Williams had to say. That was how they started attacking Williams. On Williams seeing that the whole thing was too much for him, he ran. On his way running, he was knocked down by a car. Seeing that he was knocked down by a car, the angry mob left him. They felt like this one is already gone, he has been settled. That was how they went back inside to meet Lawrence, who was still there trying to talk things over with the employer. When they got there, they started beating Lawrence. They attacked him. Seeing that the crowd was too much on him, nobody was willing to listen to whatever he had to say, he decided to run for his life. This was already almost nightfall. Everywhere was almost dark. He started running. That was how he ran into a bush. While running for his life, because they were chasing him, he ran into a borrow pit. Unknowingly to him, there was a borrow pit there. He ran into the borrow pit. That was how these angry mobs left him. Luckily for Williams, who was knocked down by a car, he was helped by a good Samaritan, so he was taken to the hospital. It was after he regained consciousness, he started asking for his brother, Lawrence. Eventually, he went back home, explained what happened to them. So they started looking for Lawrence. They automatically declared him a missing person. They went to the police station. They searched for him for about 4 days, until when they got an information that a body was discovered at a borrow pit. His body already floated. He was already dead. So when they got there, they identified the body. It was that of Lawrence, a young man who just returned from Italy after 13 years. Because he was trying to save a little boy, he was beaten to death and thrown into borrow pit. Now his family members are claiming these angry mobs beat him up, strangled him, and when they discovered Lawrence was dead, they discarded his body in the borrow pit, because it was said his tongue was out when they found his body. The nature at which they discovered his body, they believe he was beaten and strangled to death before they discarded him at the borrow pit. But it's also possible, since it was nightfall, he may not have seen that there was borrow pit there. While trying to run for his life, he ran into the borrow pit and ended up drowning. Anyway, as at the time of recording this video, 2 persons have been arrested. I think the man who started the whole argument, that's the little boy's employer, and one of those persons who stood at the forefront of this whole beating that happened. So they've been arrested and investigation is currently ongoing. Hopefully they will conduct an autopsy on this young man's body to find out the major cause of his death. If he was already dead before he was discarded, I don't know. However, sometimes you not even good to do good. Sometimes just allow, if you plead. But then I can't even say just allow certain things pass. This was a small boy. You can't even say you watch an elderly person beat a small boy like that, or watch him almost being stabbed. So it was not a bad thing that Lawrence tried helping out this little boy. But sadly, he ended up losing his own life. So please and please, make we dey try dey use our head dey do some kind things sometimes. If you want to help, look at the environment. You don't know these people, it's better you even go outside and call people who are familiar with the whole environment than you will be stranger. Now he ended up being beaten and possibly thrown into the borrow pit where he ended up dying because he decided to visit Nigeria. If to say, if for just day Italy where he did peacefully, he would have remained there. Anyway, I hope he so rest in peace and he gets the justice he deserves. What is your take on this story? Drop it under the comment section. Like this video and subscribe to this channel. Have a great day.